Welcome to News Mongolia, where we bring you the latest stories and updates from across the nation and beyond. I'm Batsirin Namshar. On the News Mongolia today, major Mongolian mining companies are taking part in PDAC 2024. Nurturing resilience, herders' adaptive strategies to overcome dzud challenges. Eagle Festival 2024 will soar at Chingisiin Khuree Camp. For the news, stay tuned. The Prospectors and Developers Association of Canada's 2024 convention held in Toronto from March 3rd through 6th. PDAC is the world's leading event for people, companies, and organizations connected to mineral exploration. The event hosted more than 1,100 exhibitors and 700 speakers. Let's take a look at the following report from MNB's team currently working in Toronto.
On the sidelines of PDAC, the Minister of Mining and Heavy Industry and the Mongolian National Mining Association organized Mongolia Day on March 3rd, hosting a series of insightful presentations and discussions on the country's investment opportunities and the status of its mining industry. On Mongolia Day, representatives from key entities such as the Mongolian National Mining Association, Irtens Mongol, and Rio Tinto took the stage, shedding light on Mongolia's investment landscape and the overall state of the mining industry. Attendees gained valuable insights from industry leaders about emerging opportunities in this dynamic market. The Deputy Minister of Mining and Heavy Industry introduced policy reforms in the mineral resource sector. Renewable energy and the extractive industry hold immense potential in Mongolia. With the rich abundance of natural resources and a growing focus on sustainable practices, Mongolia is poised to harness the power of renewable energy sources. Additionally, the extractive industry, particularly mining, continues to be a key driver of the economic growth, presenting vast opportunities for investment and development in the country. Mongolia marks its 20th consecutive participation at PDAC. Over the past 3 decades, the mining industry has stood as Mongolia's primary investment sector, constituting 24% of the GDP. Notably, a substantial 80% of foreign investment have flowed into the thriving Mongolian mining sector.
Mongolia possesses a notable variety of 17 rare minerals. Given this abundance, it becomes imperative to delve into comprehensive study and research. In light of this, Mongolia has joined forces with the support of South Korea and the USA to establish dedicated Rare Metals Research Center. This collaborative initiative underscores the collective commitment to gaining a deeper understanding of these rare minerals.
The Mongolia booth, set up for the 3rd consecutive year at PDAC, offered insight into the nation's rich mineral resources and investment potential. The booth showcased the country's commitment to fostering international collaboration and attracting investment to drive its mining sector forward.
Over the past 2 decades, the lives of herders in rural areas have been consistently disrupted by natural disasters and severe winters known as dzud. The occurrence of dzud conditions has shifted from being unpredictable to becoming a regular natural phenomenon, prompting some herders to take proactive measures against its impact to safeguard their livestock.
A collaborative effort among herders has emerged in response to the challenges posed by dzud. These herders come together to plant and harvest fodder to sustain their livestock through the harsh winter months. Planting 50 kilograms of seeds yields an impressive 2.5 to 3 tons of fodder in autumn. The herders emphasize that their approach to cultivating fodder is a superior alternative to the traditional method of mowing wild grass from pasture land. Not only is this method more efficient, but it also yields fodder with greater nutritional value. Herders with different livestock have different feed options depending on their livestock type. For example, those who raise horses can plant oats, and those with cattle can also plant peas and wheat. The harvest volume is intricately tied to the quality of the seeds selected. Herders are strongly advised to exercise meticulous care and attention when choosing seeds for fodder. Scrupulous seed selection also determines the yield. Rather than being impacted by the unpredictability of nature, herders are taking a proactive approach by implementing mitigation and resilience strategies through the cultivation and harvesting of fodder. This adaptive strategy not only helps them to navigate the challenges of dzud, but also shows a forward-thinking dedication to adjusting traditional nomadic herding practices in response to today's ecological and weather conditions.
You're watching News Mongolia. Now let's take a look at Mongolia's current affairs.
The upcoming Eagle Festival is being held on March 9th and 10th at Chingisiin Khuree Camp. The festival is a celebration of Mongolia's 6,000 years of eagle hunting heritage, traditions, and skills. Around 100 eagle trainers are expected to compete for titles like Best Turned Out Eagle and Owner, Best Hunting Eagle, and the Eagle Best at locating its owner from a distance. The festival helps to preserve Mongolia's eagle hunting customs and traditions, with UNESCO recognizing eagle hunting as part of the representative list of the intangible heritage of humanity. In 2010, the event has become popular with domestic and international visitors. The Eagle Festival is a testament to the country's commitment to safeguarding its cultural legacy.
Now let's take a look at the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Now let's take a look at international news from our partner agencies. The European Union fined Apple nearly $2 billion on Monday for breaking competition laws by unfairly favoring its own music streaming service over rivals. The move is the 27-nation bloc's first ever antitrust penalty against the US tech giant.
Thank you for joining us for today.
The European Union's Executive Commission says Apple banned app developers from fully informing iOS users about alternative and cheaper music subscription services outside of the app. That's illegal under EU antitrust rules. The fine follows a long-running investigation triggered by a complaint from Swedish streaming service Spotify. The European Union has led global efforts to crack down on big tech companies.
And this is why, with today's decision, we have ordered Apple to remove the anti-steering provisions and to refrain from similar practices in the future. From now on, Apple will have to allow music streaming developers to communicate freely with their own users, be that within the app, by email, or any other ways of communicating. Now, it is of fundamental importance to hold companies like Apple accountable for their violation of EU law. If Apple abuses its dominant position, we will detect such illegal behavior, we will bring it to an end, and we will punish Apple for it. That is why we decided to impose a fine of 1.84 billion euros on Apple. The fine also includes a so-called lump sum to account for the non-monetary harm caused to consumers and to achieve deterrence. The fine we impose today reflects both Apple's financial power and the harm that Apple's conduct inflicted on millions of European users.
Thank you. Any other questions?
The head of the UN nuclear watchdog International Atomic Energy Agency confirmed on Monday that he would be traveling to Moscow to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin, assuming that the Russian government would make the invitation official.
Speaking at the briefing on the sidelines of the agency's Board of Governors meeting, International Atomic Energy Agency Director General Rafael Grossi told reporters that he thought it was very important to keep this high-level dialogue with both belligerents, as he hoped to get an impression of the Russian plans for the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. Grossi also said member states were enormously concerned about Iran's ongoing enrichment activities.
I think it is very important that we keep this high-level dialogue with both belligerents. I've been to Kiev many times, I've spoken many times with President Zelensky, with President Putin once, and also with with Minister Lavrov and others. What is happening there, as I just explained to your colleague, is of tremendous importance in terms of international peace and security. So for me, it's very important to be able to discuss with him some technical points. Of course, I was there, I was at the plant, I was discussing some issues. I want to have an impression of what are the plans there. I don't have any information that Iran is making a nuclear weapon, but I hear what they say, and I ask questions. And secondly, what I would say is Iran is the only country that does not have a nuclear weapon that is enriching at 60%, and it's accumulating uranium enriched at 60%. It's a very high. They have the right. They always say that under the NPT they have the right to, okay, that is correct. At the same time, they need to have an inspection system which is commensurate with their ambitious program and the levels they are getting on it.
Regarding the Iran issue, could you please...
Now let's take a look at the weather forecast for Mongolia and world major cities. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you on Wednesday with more news and updates. Goodbye.